Well, back here at my cabin, and we have our second pond, and that's about in the middle right there, maybe 6 to 8 inches deep. And over there is where I have my septic tank digging down. That's about 4 feet in that corner. So I got block set up to get this kind of dried in, but I don't think this idea going to work because I have no way to set a drain system up to keep the water out of here while I'm building it up. I could do it like a basement and waterproof it so the water couldn't come in, but I can't build it fast enough to get in front of the rain. Every time it rained, I would have this right here going on, because once I put the roof up and all that, it would actually shelter it, so it wouldn't rain on this. It would rain all around it and go to its various locations. But you know, and plus I got a backfill and all that after I brought the walls up. But I'm gonna kind of just abandon that whole idea. It wasn't giving me but an extra 2 feet. I just wanted to do a 2-story, and I didn't want it 30 feet in the air. I kind of wanted it as low as possible, so I wanted to go down in the ground 2 or 3 feet and kind of come up more like a basement with a top level, and then put a tall A roof on it, and we would sleep up top is the plan. But I haven't did much videoing on this because I'm still trying to figure out which way to go, and this water just helping me decide that I'm going to have to fill this hole back in. Like I said, it's not that deep. It looks like a lot, but the good thing about it, the pond is very full, but not full as it's going to be, so it needs plenty more water. So I'll bring the pump back in the generator and put my water pump on like I did back when I was trying to build this pond and kept getting flooded out before I was ready. And I put the pumps in and got it back down to mud where I could push it and do what I need to do. So I'll just end up hooking the hose up. I got like a 100-foot hose. I'll hook it up and put it into this little drain that I have right here. I'll just run the hose into that white pipe, and it will go under the dam here and pop out right there. As you see the little trench where it goes out into the pond. So all that water, I'll spend the whole day probably pumping it out of the cabin. So that looks like I won't be building and working on the cabin this weekend. I'll be in there splashing around in the mud the whole time. So I'll just get the water out of there and try to figure out a way to get some dirt in there to fill it back in, because I actually just put the dirt all out and just distributed and wasted it all over the area. So it ain't like I can go to a pile and just fill it back in. So gotta figure that out. There's always something. But anywho, pond looking good. Got a little bit of wear and tear here where the water's washing out. I'll still probably put the box blade on if it's not all the way full. I'll put the box blade on and kind of smooth some of this up. I like that edge like it is, but where the grass is right there, all that should be underwater once it's full. But I may knock that down some and use that dirt to fill in over there in the cabin, kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and go ahead and take the backhoe off, because that's why I still have it on, because I was going to dig it out and square it off for my septic and everything. But like I said, that's like a wash. And I noticed that my little 3-way logs I had, the little 3 small ones, they're just floating all over the place. They were over here the day before yesterday in the corner, and now they're way over here. We got a ton of rain, so I'm happy, and got my log almost submerged. But I got a couple of bait still here that I keep hidden up under the dock right here. I thought I had a chair. Oh yeah, I got the chair up there hid out, so I can sit out here. But look like I ain't got too many more sits if it keep raining. But I'm happy. Everything coming along pretty good. Just got to figure out this cabin scenario. And I'll probably take those rocks right there, both piles, and put them in that corner, make sure that don't erode out. I see some big erosion on those corners. Might take the backhoe Sunday and do that while it's pumping and just make a day out of that instead of just sitting around waiting for it to pump. And maybe get me some more fish, some jumbo minnows and some bass minnow, and drop them in here with those 20 brim we caught. Well, 17, 19, 2 died. So I'm assuming that they're all in there striving and surviving. But anywho, enough babbling. Until next time. Well, this is the bright idea I came up with to pump my cabin spot and not waste all that water. It's 2 days after the rain and it's holding the water like I dug it to be a pond inside my cabin basement. And like I said, I'm gonna have to do away with that idea altogether and pump this water out, and I'm just gonna have it like a crawl space instead of putting myself in a position to flood the floor later. If I can get it built up in time to waterproof it and detour the water flow. This seems like a little extra that I really don't have time to get into. So I'll dumb it down a little bit and just build a basic cabin 3 feet off the ground, which will be good to keep me out of the water in the rough rains and everything. So it's good to flood it now to show me that my idea wasn't a sound idea. I don't mind stopping and restarting a different direction. No matter at all, versus coming in here later and having a big mess after you're halfway done building it. So we'll basically turn that bottom into like a crawl space. I'll probably just level off the floor and be able to get up under there and store stuff or something like that maybe. I still think I'll be able to control the water, but just not be able to build it the way I want it to. Unless I do masonry, which means a whole lot more land blocks and waterproofing. It's just a little extra and kind of unnecessary. It would have been cool, but I'm slowly getting over it. Got my generator going, bags of concrete, ready to pour these pillars solid and go forward from here. So I brought extra blocks, plus see I got a stack here, about 20 blocks. And I'm gonna pour them all solid and just nail steel down through the ground to kind of mount it to the ground, make sure ain't nothing shifting. And it'll be a nice solid basis to build up off of. So I'll probably go find some oak. I know where one fallen tree is. I'm gonna go and cut that up into like 14-foot long pieces and get my beams out of that, and everything else will be real thick pieces of pine that I frame it with. And I might end up buying all the roof and stuff from the store just to speed up this process. But it is now 10:30 in the morning, and I'm gonna see just how long it takes to pump this whole thing out. Because I know that hole right there where the line going in, that's my septic tank. Well, what was gonna be the septic tank, I hadn't finished digging it. And I know that's at least 3 or 4 feet deep. This over here is not too deep. Because you can see the block, that bottom block is only half of that under the water, so it can't be no more than 3 or 4 inches. So that should kind of get it where maybe later on today I can get in there and work. I got my muck boots on, so I'll be able to splash around and play in the mud. But anywho, that's what we got. Stay tuned. Tapped into a spring. waterfall going on. I see it's not flowing real fast though out of this little puddle, which makes me think that it may be something up in the pipe. It's moving pretty slow. It's like it's not getting to that. I need to dig it out a little bit, see can I get it to flow. Back down here at the cabin build. Got the old dovetail trailer today. Got some of my 2x6s on here. Some from Lowe's, some from the sawmill. Gonna mix and match them. Kind of running out of time to have this thing at least framed out, so I want to go ahead and buy what I don't have meal so I can hurry up with the process. Still got my generator down here in case I need to make some precise cuts with the skill saw. And this is basically one Sunday afternoon worth of squaring up and beefing up. Still need to put screws in. It's still a muddy mess. Sun don't get in here and hardly dry it, but I think you can probably get in there without it being actually that sticky mud, but it's clay, so it is not friendly to cleanliness. Good for packing though. And I need to put a solid 4 up under that middle piece, kind of to represent the center not swagging. These some pretty big beams and studs I'm using. I'm gonna use all the sawmill stuff, heavy duty bulked up pieces for the bottom. And like I said, I got me some logs already cut in the wood. Still got block in case I wanna run a wall through the middle for support. Got plenty of block to do that. But the objective for today, I got this big red oak, and the other part of it is still down in the woods. She's solid as rock. It fell about maybe 2 years ago, and it's still not laying on the ground. It's kind of been up off the ground. The limbs kind of holding it off the ground, so be good for firewood. But I'm gonna try to get some 14-foot beams. Hopefully, it'll be really awesome if I can get like 2 or 3 per log, because I really kind of need 6, but I can get by with 4 and just use some smaller ones for the support beams through the 12-inch span. I just want to go like to 6 feet and put a little support beams, because it is going to be a 2-story building, so I don't want to use 1x4s. I want like 6x6s. So hopefully I can get that out of that piece. The other piece is a little bit bigger, and I couldn't get it with the 4-wheeler in the log art. So I had to go and pump the tire up on the log art. Spider webs everywhere. Had to pump the tire up on the log art and said I was gonna try it again, but I do have the tractor with the forks now, so I can pick that up, the one I got over there, put it on the dovetail, and then go in the woods here and see can I drag it up here and pick it up with the forks and sit it on the dovetail. I can take both logs home at the same time. I just have to unload the wood, stack it nice and neat to the side, because I'm not concerned with building today, but it would be super sweet if I can get both of those logs home and get them milled up and get me some beams out of them. That would motivate me to actually do some framing today, but I may still come down and frame the floor joists, because I can still do that and still be able to drop the 4s. I figured putting the beams in the corner right there, mounting them to those tall sides right there, I put lag bolts in them, and those center pieces where I got notched out, I still need to notch that one out. I may just put a lag bolt in it, and it's just for support, like vertical support, so it don't really have to be notched out, but the notching, a lot more strength and whatnot. And I see the water still holding in my septic tank there, so that's really kind of like not good, because I need that thing to drain on down over time. But I just think I done dug so deep down into that clay. It's of course doing what a pond would do. And there's no rain, no sun getting down in here, so evaporation, as they say, probably ain't taking too much place here. But anyhow, let me unload and see if we can get these 2 logs to the house. That'll be a success if I can just do that today. Alrighty. 1 down, 1 to go. May have to drop it and pick it back up. It's way tighter through here than I thought. Two down and 0 to go. I'm grabbing this wood just in time too, cause it's solid as a rock. I see where the bark coming off. That's a good thing. That means it's drying out good. I got the little punchy stuff here, but this is solid as a rock. This is the perfect time before it starts mulching all up, and then it's a not so great product. But anyway, that was the objective for the day. All I gotta do now is just drive it up to the house and load it on the sawmill. And like I said, I just want to be able to get at least that other one is quite a bit bigger on they look almost same size when you look at them like that by the camera, but it's probably about a couple of inches difference in diameter. But I may be able to get like 5 or 6 14-footers out there. But I looked at my stack that I had right here. I just moved all this crap out of the way because I'm gonna clear all these trees out. That's not on the objective for today, but I'm gonna go ahead and at least clear back to this I think this is an oak. No, it's a sweet gum, I believe. Yeah, I'm gonna clear back all that little brushy crap right there all the way, and then have this whole area just cleared out. And I'm gonna just pile it right there and push it back and let it deteriorate. And later on we'll end up burning it. Maybe this winter, good old cold day, we'll light it all up, pull it out there into the field and light it up. But yeah, this is all the scrap stuff I had brought from earlier. The dark ones right there, that'll be what I build my door out of. And then I looked in the stack and I got 2 4x6 beams were already in there, and they look like they about 14 feet long. So I really don't need but 4 to go in the 4 corners and just notch out those sides and we ready to go. So anywho, I guess I'll play on the backhoe for a little while and then head to the house and see can I mill up these beams. Well, about had got everything dug out of that spot with the trees, and looking pretty good. I can show you from here. I ain't gonna walk all the way back over there. Just got the one little tree right there to get out, and maybe 3 or 4 of those little green saplings over there, and I'm gonna leave the big tree with the V right there. And everything was going good. All I had to do is get that tree down, and we decided to blow a hydraulic line. I think I hit the tree coming back when I was coming across. You see the debris from the tree, and this all right here just being a little too rough and focusing on the other side, trying to clear that side, and wasn't looking over here. Pinched that whole line, and I don't know if that's something that can be resorted or just need to take that whole piece off and change the whole line, because all these lines have quite a few birthdays, but I definitely ain't gonna replace them until I have to. I don't have any leaks in them or anything, so I'm gonna take it home and take the whole backhoe attachment off. Pretty much done with that anyway. I can do the rest of it with the front bucket and smooth everything out, and I'll get that ordered and probably have it back up and running next week. I'll put the box blade back on here because that's what I was really looking to do this week anyway. So now, no choice. We definitely gotta swap it out now, which I actually could leave it on there because the big part of the arm, it still works. But we got about a half a mile of road time here. Get on up to the house here and put it up under the surgery. You can tell I'm getting all into that tree. It was such a close little spot. But that's what happens when you dial in a little too hard, get careless and make stupid mistakes. No telling what that hose costs, but whatever it is, we gotta have it. So anywho, until next time. This is the first log, the biggest one, and that's a pretty good size can here. I'll be doing good. I probably can get all 4 of them out this one. That'll be really sweet. And got a couple of 1-inch slabs right here I can use for like a facial or something on each end. That'd be real nice. Have a nice red oak facial up top when I'm done with the roof. But we'll see. I still ain't even cut into the other one yet, so it will be pretty good with material. Yeah, this is the next morning. You can see a lot better now. Got all these 14-foot beams laid out. They're looking very plumb. I did actually use the level, just in case you wonder. And now I'm gonna put the little band around the 8-foot level. I had little notches. Go ahead and drop the 2x6s. These I bought from the actual store that treated. I just wanted to get something that's already ready that I can throw up real quick. I got quite a few more to buy because I'm not gonna do all this by sawmill. It's just taking too long to go through that process. But the outside will all be sawmill, but the framework from here on going to probably be all regular lumber. Like I said, building the walls and framing them out, it'll take me just too much time to cut all that stuff up and you know, lay it out. So this is what it is for now. I could use a hand, so if you're watching this right now, come give me a hand. By the time the end of this video, you should be here. Thank you in advance. Last 2 floor joists is going in this morning. I ran out of material. And I'll be cutting the landing for the stairs today too. I got about an hour to work this morning, so just trying to get a couple of small things done. That shit coming along pretty good. Yep. Got all the, I guess you'll say the basic studs up, the common ones. Just for the structure, got it all pinned down, locked down, so I can take all my braces down. Up here, I'm gonna have my door. I'm gonna try to go with a homemade 36-inch door, and I'm gonna connect them top pieces. I just ran these as individual walls, and I'm gonna run a piece I got off a sawmill. It just happens to fit perfectly in that jamb between the 2x6s right there, and I'll be able to mount that thing, so that'll be one complete top, and then I have to put a header up there. But it looks like it's gonna fit like a glove in there. Let me show you what I'm talking about up here. This piece right here, I just gotta knock it in. I make that sound simple. But I don't want it to lay that way, I want it to lay flat. So, and it could work that way, but that ain't what I want. But anywho, let me wrestle with this a little bit and see if I can get it. Yeah, I just had to loosen the screws up on the outside perimeter. About 1/8 of an inch tight. And I can knock it in with my hand so it's nice and snug. And then I tighten those screws back up even more after I tie it to the two short walls here. But look like we're in business. We're getting on down the road with this thing. I got about 7 more weeks before it needs to be done. Cross your fingers.